Alright, I am going to continue inking of the Nautiloid, and I'm in here in the background now. And as I was saying, I trust the sketch, so I'm just going to kind of go in there and keep inking in the little details of the structure here on this big snail-looking ship. Now I need to get myself in a better position here, comfort in my car as I draw. I'm going to kind of move the iPad around. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Now I'm good. It's actually not that comfortable because my elbow is on my armrest on my in my car, so my my arm doesn't have full freedom here. But this should be enough. I'm not going to complain. One day I'll have a better office. Who knows? Or maybe I won't. Who knows? Maybe I'll just have to get used to drawing in here. But as I said, we're going to focus on the structure of this cool little ship, and I'm just going to be adding details as I go. Shading and stuff. Gonna keep it hatching. I think when it comes to hatching, inking like this, when you're doing details in a background, it does look nice. Obviously, I don't want to take away from the detail of the main character in front, but as the eye wanders around, it is going to catch like the little details. I'm not adding too many little structures, just kind of like making patterns and strokes so that once your eye hits the pattern, it's like, okay, I acknowledge the pattern and I can move on. So these little triangles here, I don't really know what that is, but we're just going to put it there. Here it looks like I put in another, like this would become a platform. Oh, I think that maybe that might have been a fence, so maybe I might even continue these lines down behind the fence. And this will become like the platform. Okay, so this looks like pipes here that I drew. So I'll make them look like pipes. Maybe like organic, like pipes, but also tentacles. I don't know. I'm not sure how to make them look organic rather than metallic. But again, it's just the background. We're not going to worry about it too much. This is D&D. It's an imaginative world, and of course, it is up to artists like me who decide on these details. But it's not that important, when we think about the universe and the world. We finite beings with our finite minds seek understanding of all. And great scientists like Einstein and great teachers like Richard Feynman, science teachers, they have a good idea of maybe how all the rules of the world works, at least on the smallest scales and the largest scales where patterns are recognizable. But the minutiae of complex human life, no one will ever know them all. No one will ever know every name of every family and every pet they've ever had and their daily schedules and things like that. And those parts are the beauty of human life. Like we could, go and figure out the rules of the nature and all the standard model of cosmology and physics. But what knowledge will that amount to besides, a general understanding? And maybe one could use that knowledge as a tool to make cool inventions like, renewable energy or a cool nuclear light bulb or something like that. Or people will use it to make a bomb. That's kind of like what it comes down to. Ultimately, what is this knowledge? What is the meaning of what we discover about the rules of the universe? But a useful tool for human life. What is the end? What is the end that we use these means? The end for which we use these means. For me, it is love and life and following, the gospel of my God. And it's like, what can I do? What is there to do besides that? I believe that maybe I have discovered the meaning of life, It's funny as I go into this, as I'm just drawing this little ship here, but this is how my mind tends to wander when I'm doing art. And one of the reasons I enjoy doing art is because it allows me to think about these things. And it's like after we do all this exploration, because I'm the type of person that does this. I explore my thoughts and I explore, the universe and what's been discovered about the universe. I've never been in the science field myself. Maybe I could be one day, if, depending on what I do with as I'm going back to school. But ultimately, even after you explore, you go back home, wherever your home is, you eat food that either you prepared yourself or someone prepared for you, and you go be with the people that you love. For me, that's my family, and I want to spend as much time with them as I can, and that is the meaning and purpose of my life. Why am I even, drawing this Dungeons and Dragons commission? Well, it's to serve my family. Like, ultimately, that's the end of all my aspirations, the destination of all love and energy that I have in my body and mind. 30-year-old, 34-year-old guy, and it's like you explore all this and you come back to the things that teaching people have been preaching and teaching to you all along: love, family, friendship, peace, joy, like all these good values that we're raised to grow up with. And when we're young, we think we have the freedom to go all over the place and discover something new, something different, something of my own. And it turns out you rediscover the truths that, quote unquote, adults have been trying to tell you. And yes, there are adults out there that are wrong because they continue that exploration. They continue finding things that maybe they think are new or maybe they think are true. But I think for me, there are clear truths that can be derived from clearer truths. And so for scientists like Feynman and Einstein, who knows how they lived their daily lives? Maybe they were pretty good men. Maybe they had confusion in relationships and daily work like we all do. Maybe they had relationship troubles like we all do, Maybe they had trouble getting money and food, but, they were pretty prolific teachers, so maybe not. I think this big piece is like a rudder shape. So I'm going to bring that down. Yeah. There are times I wish to be a teacher too, In my banter like this, I end up maybe just reflecting on myself, and it may end up being informative to people. It may end up being a nice reflection for other people to go through the same reflection that I'm going through. Now this oar is on the other side, so I'm going to erase that and make sure it's on the other side of this rudder. But yeah, we explore the world and we discover the truth again and again. The same truth. Where are these rudders coming out from? I'm trying to establish that there's a curvature here as it curves down into the rudder, and then maybe some kind of lines. It's kind of hard to see the shape, but again, doesn't really matter too much. As long as there's some structure there. Yeah, I think that's plenty. That's more than good enough. And these hatching lines are establishing a shape that it curves into the rudder there, so that's fine. Maybe some lines going down this way as it changes its curvature. I think another oar here would be good. And another line here to show that the curvature is a little bit more as it curves under. Alright, so we'll move on to the other side where all these tentacles are. And these are big, long, super destructive, powerful tentacles ravaging the earth beneath it. Maybe, I don't really know what it's doing. Maybe the tentacles help navigate. I don't know. I just know that the nautiloid has a bunch of tentacles in its front, and they go all over the place. So that's what we got here. So I hope you've enjoyed these musings or learned something from them. This is the kind of stuff I think about all the time, and the stuff I like talking to people about too. If you have any comments or questions about what I'm saying, feel free to type it in. Because it's like, I think about all this so much, and it's like, what use is any of it? I'm a layman, I have a wife and family, and My job is to love and serve them. What else am I supposed to do in life? You know? Like, yes, I could, establish myself in my career in the world as a person that has an effect on the world and other people and benefits other people. Maybe I could be a builder, or, I mean, I'm striving to be a teacher and an accountant right now. And I'm still going to maintain my career as an artist. I'm still strive to create beautiful art that like benefits people's lives. As I'm drawing this big scary evil creature. Um, but again, this is for a person who wanted. He plays games with other people. I hope that these games are enriching for the people he plays with, and fun, and that ultimately leads them toward a more peaceful life, and that they learn something from their games and experience. It's good for young children to play these games, and if adults have to play them too, I'm not going to knock them for it. Like, what is the point of fantasy? What is the point of storytelling, which is the great draw and the fun of a game like Dungeons and Dragons? It's that we learn from it. Why are fictional stories even told? Like, there are fiction stories in the Bible as well, like the Book of Job. I heard that the Book of Tobit was also apocryphal. All the great lessons told in these holy books, they could be fictional. But the truths that the stories reveal are not fictional. So, there's still value there. So even in a game like D&D, people make their own decisions in this fantasy story. And that's the value there. Like, you roll the dice, as the world, you kind of roll the dice in the world as well. Like, we try to guarantee results that we want in this world. And in D&D, there is a mathematical system of deciding chance with the roll of the dice. And 1 out of 20 or 6 out of 20 or whatever is your chances of success. Well, the world kind of operates the same way. Numbers exist as quantized atoms exist in finite pieces. And so we roll the dice every day in trying to guarantee the results that we want. So can I affect the world in a way that I want to affect it? Well, I can try. And the results will show. So in D&D, when we play games, it's a practice. Games are a microcosm. Games are a reduction of the complexity of the world in something that's solvable. And if we win the game, we feel that satisfaction. We feel that dopamine. It's like, yes, I did it. I achieved my goal. These are the ways I achieved it. These are the problems I solved in order to do it. And ultimately, what is the end? What is the purpose of such a game? It's so that we learn. And so we end up adopting principles, game theory, that we can apply to what? To the final end, which is life and love. And if the game becomes the end in and of itself, which is something I've been guilty of in my own life, there's nothing satisfactory about it to me. I think it just becomes vanity, a chase after the wind, as it is said in the book of Ecclesiastes. It's all vanity, a chase after the wind. And there is an end to which we can live for that is satisfying. But that is a secret I will keep into the next video. If you know me, you know what it is. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.